there, Taurus. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. You are watching a general love reading for the sign of Taurus for this last week in October 2020. As you can see, or maybe you can tell based on the lighting and the shadow, I am doing a nighttime video. I thought I'd give it a shot. I bought myself a light, see if it works. I'm not too fond of the shadows and the glare on the cards, but you know, it gives me the option of doing nighttime readings. So I'm just giving it a try. So Taurus, I want to remind you before we get started, this is a general love reading, and that means it can apply to any kind of situation, any kind of relationship. You can mix and match the roles within the reading. You can be represented by any of the characters that shows up in the cards, regardless of gender. Parts of the reading may resonate for you, other parts may not. Take what does, leave behind the rest. I hope you find the reading entertaining. I hope it's helpful. And I hope you think it's worth your while. That you watched it and it was time well spent. Right? I mean, who wants to waste their time? Not me. I don't. So anyway, if you are brand new, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. There is more specific information in the description box below. If you want to have a look there, we're going to get started. Here we go. We have the Hermit. 9 of Swords. Page of Wands in reverse. The Knight of Pentacles. And as I said, the glare and the shadow, I apologize. It's the best I can do right now. 8 of Cups in reverse. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. 3 of Wands. And Death. So Taurus, you're dealing with something hard. Something's causing you some grief. You might be up in your head a little bit about it. Feels like an emotional matter. Maybe it's something you're not feeling very confident about or secure about. Feels like you could have received some bad news. Let's get some more information out here for Taurus and see what else we get. 5 of Pentacles. High Priestess. The 10 of Pentacles in reverse. 10 of Swords in reverse. 7 of Swords. 9 of Pentacles again in reverse, clarifying the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. 3 of Wands in reverse, clarifying the 3 of Wands in the upright position. And then we have the 6 of Cups. Well, I can tell this is going to be an interesting reading, Taurus. I can tell. So I think you might be up in your head about something that possibly you haven't been able to confirm, or you don't have concrete knowledge or anything to back up your hunch, but you have a feeling about something that's got you up in your head. I think you're looking for answers or trying to gain some clarity, but maybe it hasn't been very successful for you, or you haven't been able to obtain the information you need. This could have to do with a financial situation or a job or workplace situation. Possibly also a family dynamic. There might be a disruption or an upheaval within a family unit. This is Sylvester, the cat. He wants to sit in my lap. And he's going to get to when I'm finished with this reading. We're going to sit on the couch together for the rest of the evening, and I'm going to be a couch potato with him. But right now, he has to let me be. Let's go. If you're familiar with my channel and you know that, of course, there's Carmilla the bird, she's sleeping. It's way past her bedtime. So she's in the bedroom being nice and quiet. So we have the Seven of Swords out here. It's possible there's some kind of deception, possibly criminal activity. I don't know why I'm getting that. For this particular Seven of Swords, oftentimes I think about deception or lies or people not treating each other well, or being kind of sneaky, or doing things in the background, or trying to get away with something. For whatever reason, I get the feeling that this could potentially be indicating some kind of actual criminal behavior. And I'm getting that because of the Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles in particular. For some reason, it feels like there could be some kind of... And if it's not actual criminal behavior, then some kind of deception surrounding money. I mean, deception surrounding money. What does that really mean? I mean, I suppose you could lie about how much money you have or how much money you don't have or something of that nature. But deception around money to me would indicate theft or misuse of money or mishandling of money or property. Something of that nature. Sylvester, I love you dearly. You cannot be up here right now. Please, you just need to go. Okay, I need to get some more cards out here for you, Taurus. Let's see what else we get. This is looking interesting over here too. I just haven't dived into that yet. I haven't dove into that. I haven't dived into that. I think it's dived. Knight of Wands. Nine of Wands. Ten of Pentacles in reverse again. So this might have been the news that you've just recently received or heard, or you had some communication or some information come forward about some kind of disruption within a family unit, family dynamic. King of Swords in reverse. It's possible that you're trying to gain more information surrounding something like this, some kind of event involving a group or family unit, and you haven't been able to, I feel like you haven't been able to gain the information you need, or maybe ask follow-up questions. There's some kind of indication that you haven't been able to get the information that you need. Four of Swords in reverse. These cards in particular glare really badly. Four of Wands in reverse. You can almost, I don't think, it's just hard for me to show you the picture. The Emperor in reverse. And then the Two of Cups. Okay, so this is interesting. So, whatever's going on here involves a very significant relationship. And the outcome, and this is going to sound ridiculous because of course this is, I guess it's going to be one of two outcomes. Okay, we have one of two possible outcomes. And I don't think, Taurus, it feels like you haven't, like you're able to adhere to one or the other. I think that the relationship is either going to end or it's going to transform significantly. So there is a very significant connection or relationship, can be intimate, doesn't have to be, but there's a very significant connection or relationship associated with the situation that I think when all is said and done, it's either going to transform the relationship itself into something better, more amazing, something stronger, something more effective, something like that, or it's going to end the relationship. So the death card, of course, can mean either one of those things: transformation or death, rebirth. But there's an ending, there's a cycle that could be closing out, or something that's coming to an end, and then there's going to be a new beginning of some sort. And I'm not sure that you have any control over whether or not things work out for the best or not. Obviously, it's going to be one way or the other. It doesn't feel like there's any gray area. I feel like I'm definitely looking at an outcome over here, which is, this is usually my set of outcome cards, if that applies. But this feels absolutely like the two potential outcomes, which I think it hasn't, whatever's going on here doesn't feel like it's occurred yet. So there might be a response to some information that you've received. But I don't think for whatever reason, I get the feeling like there isn't anything more, there isn't any more information coming your way, or there's some unanswered questions. And these cards here are still a little fuzzy for me. We're going to get some more information out here. I'm going to give this fourth deck one more good shuffle. And Sylvester's back again, but he's going to have to go. So we have the Knight of Cups. Sylvester, you're stepping on my hair. Four of Wands in reverse again. No, you gotta go. You gotta go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, little man. You gotta go. Breaks my heart to do that. Hierophant in reverse with the Ten of Pentacles. So this could indicate a divorce or some kind of broken contract, or maybe some kind of legal issue having to do with group dynamic, a business, family. Strength in reverse. Page of Swords. Nine of Pentacles in the upright, clarifying the Nine of Pentacles in reverse twice. So we've got the Nine of Pentacles a few times over here. The Moon in reverse, and the Page of Cups. Okay, so I feel like there's two different things going on here. So there is this news or information that I feel like, Taurus, you've received, or you've learned something, or you've come to understand something. I don't think it was expected. I think you're still seeking out more answers, or you want clarity. Because whatever you have learned or found out, or whatever news you have received or information you've acquired, it's causing you a lot of grief. It's causing you to feel anxiety. It's causing you to feel uncertain about things. It's probably raising more questions than it is answering. I think you have a hunch, or you have a intuitive understanding of possibly what this means. It has something to do with a family unit. Could be the loss of a business, some kind of financial matter, or some kind of financial upheaval. Could have to do with some kind of home situation or an actual piece of property. I feel tangible items. I feel like tangible assets. So this could pertain to a piece of property, a business. Sylvester, don't go up there. No. Get down. You're going to knock the phone down. No. Sorry, Taurus. He needs attention, but I'm going to finish this reading and then he'll have all the attention he needs. I don't know if you can see him. I don't think you can. He's sticking his nose up here. He's just off camera, and it's too bad because he was really cute. You'll just have to trust me. He's being really cute right now. He's doing it again. He's rubbing his face on the edge of the table. You have to stay down. No. No. So I'm very interested to get this last round out because this card, the Seven of Swords, with this Page of Swords, this is what's troubling you. This is what's on your mind. And I think this is what you're watching for. You're waiting for news on this. You're waiting to gain some clarity on this Seven of Swords, whatever this is. So this has something to do with gaining details or more information about something significant that's occurred. Again, it feels like a family matter or something financial or the division of assets. Maybe there's a divorce. Let's get this last round out and see what else we get for Taurus. Four of Cups in reverse. Seven of Swords again. There it is. I said this is what's on your mind and it showed up on the Nine of Swords. This is what you're troubled about right there. So you might be suspicious about some criminal activity or somebody trying to get away with something, some kind of underhanded dirty deeds. I feel like there's this suspicion of something going down that does not feel very kosher, if you know what I mean. Five of Cups. Ten of Wands in reverse. The Nine of Wands in reverse this time with the Seven of Swords. It's up here in the upright with the Seven of Swords. Two of Cups in reverse this time. Sylvester, honestly, Justice. So here's Justice in the set of outcome cards. So this definitely could have to do with some kind of legal matter. And then we have the Page of Wands again in reverse. Okay, this is really an interesting story, Taurus. I'm going to try to be as general as possible, but I feel like this is one of those stories that could go a lot of different ways. So I'm going to kind of start at the beginning and make my way down. So I feel like at least right now you've come into some information, or you've received some kind of unexpected. It feels like it was unexpected, or you weren't anticipating, or it's not something that you were thinking about, so it's kind of just like dropped in your lap. Hey, guess what? Da 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 da. And it's some kind of situation involving a group dynamic, family dynamic, maybe a business. Something's in upheaval. Something's gone awry. This is the bad news. This Ten of Pentacles in reverse is the bad news. So this could be a divorce. Again, this could be some kind of upheaval within a family. This could be a division of assets. This could be, dividing up property and whatever else. That's what it feels like to me. I strongly get that message. So there's a certain level of grief that you're experiencing with regard to this news. There's something else going on here that's not being talked about. And it's what you're waiting for. There is some kind of... Okay, I'm getting the story muddled in my head. Just bear with me, Taurus. I'm going to try to work through this here. So let me just backtrack a little bit. So there is some kind of something that you're waiting for. You're waiting to hear more information about the Seven of Swords. Or you might be trying to acquire information to confirm some hunches or some suspicion, or your intuition has definitely kicked in with regard to the Seven of Swords. There's something that you feel like you know something about it, but you don't have confirmation. And it's tied to whatever this Ten of Pentacles is in reverse. Whatever this bad news is, or whatever information you've acquired, Taurus. This is like part 2. You're waiting for part 2. In the meantime, the reason why you want to acquire this additional information, the reason you want part 2, is because there is a connection or relationship tied up in this mess that is very, very significant to you. I think it's a relationship that has been severed or broken or unstable for a very long time. It might be something that maybe you aren't in contact with this person anymore. You've been trying to resolve things, but I feel like there's this disconnected relationship that's tied to this situation or this news you received, and you're trying to gain part 2 or extra information, because that information you're trying to acquire right now is going to determine the outcome with regard to this connection. This bad news is tied to either the ending or the transformation of this 2 of Cups, 6 of Cups relationship for you. I hope that makes sense. So this bad news that you've received, I keep feeling the bad news vibe, okay? So the Page of Wands, which is over here also, about this Ten of Pentacles, is tied to whether or not this connection, which almost feels like it could be totally unrelated to this other stuff, but for some reason, I mean, it can't be unrelated, but it's almost, I don't know how else to put that. Let me finish talking about these cards first before I get on another tangent. Lose my place in my head. There could be a potential reconnect with whatever this is. It feels like a lost relationship. It feels like something that you don't have in the present, Taurus. So there's a potential reconnect. It will either, whatever information you acquire about the Seven of Swords, it will either determine whether or not there's potential for a reconnect or to transform this relationship, or if it puts a period at the end of the sentence for this relationship. And right now, you don't have what you need in order to determine which way it's going to go. So that's what's in your head right now, Taurus. This is very interesting. Now, here's the other deal, and the part that's so frustrating is the Seven of Swords, which is what this is what you're waiting on, and maybe you have acquired some kind of information. Maybe you have a little bit more understanding of what this is, but this is tied to whatever occurred, whatever bad news you received. But there's still something unknown. You feel like you know. Like, you know how you have those situations where you have a hunch about something, but you want to confirm it, so you'll go to somebody you know you can trust to gain that information or confirm the answer that you feel like you already have, and you talk to somebody and they say, oh yeah, da-da-da, and you're like, okay, yeah, I knew that, but I just wanted to make sure. That's what's going on here. You have a hunch about the Seven of Swords, so whatever this is, if you're resonating with this reading, you know what the Seven of Swords is. I mean, I feel like it's heavy-duty stuff. That's how it's coming across for me. But the Seven of Swords can range. I mean, it's the Seven of Swords can range from something as simple as a white lie, or trying to lie to yourself, or trying to fool yourself, or trying to get, to someone stealing a pack of gum, to someone committing a major crime, or deception and betrayal on an emotional level. It could be anything. So if you're resonating with this reading, you know what it is, Taurus. But I think once you're able to confirm your hunch one way or the other, or you acquire this additional information, you are going to be able to establish some understanding of what the outcome for this particular relationship will be for you. That's what I've got for you, Taurus. It's a very interesting reading. So I'm going to shuffle these up, and I'm going to go... I was going to go through these cards, see if I couldn't get anything else. But one just fell in my lap, two fell in my lap. And they don't usually fall in my lap, so I'm going to take them. And we have the King of Earth in reverse and Knowledge in the upright position. I'm going to read these out of the book, and then we're going to wrap this up. And I have to get little man out of my lap. Okay. So I'm going to read the King of Earth first. I do feel like this potentially, it feels like it's probably going to apply to the energy of the person that I'm reading for. In other words, the person who's in their head right now about the Seven of Swords. Reversals, of course, are potential blockages. So I'm going to read this first. Let's see what we get. Potential blockage is just about a half a page. Okay, Taurus, here we go. I'm gonna do my best, and I'll kind of hold it like this. Here we go. The reversed King of Earth may represent someone who expects others to do for him what he is too lazy to do for himself. He can feel this is the Lord of his domain and believe all who dwell within are there to serve him. He may even be someone who tends towards chauvinism or misogynistic behavior. The reversed king can be rigid and controlling, bullish and pedantic. Lots of hard words. Pedantic. He can also be jealous and unwilling or relinquish anything he sees as his property. He may represent someone who is vainglorious, a name dropper, who believes themselves to be far more important than they are, and be willing to take another's laurels for their own by suggesting that their success is only due to help or counsel. When the reverse King of Earth appears in your reading, he may symbolize a need to free yourself from a controlling relationship where you are not treated as an equal. He might also be telling you to let go and lighten up. It may even be time to laugh at yourself and to not believe your own hyperbole. Sorry, I'm having a hard time with the words tonight, apparently. When he represents you or another, the reversed King of Earth cautions against egocentric behavior that restricts or limits others. If you are in a position of power or responsibility, remember always that it is not in your favor to abuse it. Allow those around you to shine when it is their time to be in the spotlight. Okay, so while I was reading that, before I get to this knowledge card, I feel like this person is tied to the Seven of Swords. This person might very well be the person that you are trying to gain some information about or trying to confirm something about. And I do believe that this person... Now, as far as this Two of Cups is concerned, I suppose this Two of Cups and Six of Cups could potentially also be tied to this person, but I can't necessarily say that for sure. So this might also be the person that you are trying to confirm with regard to whatever occurred here, who's also tied to the Seven of Swords, but he also could be this Two of Cups. I made that much more complicated than it had to be. Anyway, Taurus, let's go on to knowledge, and then I'm going to wrap this up. And this one was in the upright, so I can read the past, present, future, or just this little blurb that's the meaning. I'm going to actually read the future for this card because I feel like more than anything else, I want to know what's going to happen. I'm on the edge of my seat, Taurus. I want to know what's going to happen. So I'm going to read the future portion because that's, for some reason, I feel what's needed for this reading. Here we go, Taurus. Let's go ahead and, there we go. The knowledge card is in a future position, asks that you look to where your knowledge is taking you. Is what you are learning in the present something that you will use in your future? Will it take you toward a future that empowers? Or are you studying to become something that you do not really want to be? If you want to be an artist, learn how to paint and research career options in the field. If you want to be a lawyer, study law. Do not study law if you really want to be an artist. Do not study art if you really want to be a lawyer. Look at your strengths and weaknesses honestly. Look at your goals and objectives and determine if they are your goals and objectives. Look at what inspires you and stirs your passions. What is it that you really want to learn and do? Research practical applications that will put both strengths and weaknesses to good use and that will harness your desires, passion, and interests. Do not do what others expect you to do. Set the tone of your future by studying a course or career path that will bring you enjoyment instead of drudgery. Yes, we must all be realistic at times. We all have financial responsibilities that must be met. However, even if you must take on employment in that role that you do not really enjoy because others expect it or it is necessary, do not allow it to become a cage. Create a better future by continuing your education. Free yourself through learning and increasing your skill set. Okay. Sounds like sage advice. So I'm going to go ahead and just say this, because I have to be honest. I feel like that applies on a personal level. This knowledge card, for some reason, feels like it applies to what you're trying to acquire in order to determine an outcome about a connection or relationship. This card could be indicating that you need to choose carefully how you acquire this information, maybe who you're getting the information from, or how you're seeking it out. I think it could also be important for you, once you do gain this information, to be careful with what you know and use it wisely. How will this information that you do acquire affect ultimately your behavior, your actions, and the ultimate outcome? In other words, I think that you should probably try to avoid being hasty with whatever it is that you learn, so you can apply it properly to the situation at hand. And that's all I'm going to say about it, because quite frankly, I think that the situation is very interesting, Taurus, but I feel like it's one of those readings where it could go all kinds of different ways. And without getting too specific, that's what I've got to say about it. So Sylvester and I are going to say goodbye, Taurus. I really enjoyed the reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. I also hope, of course, if it resonated, that it was helpful for you. So if it did resonate, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment if you want to. Those help my channel, and I really appreciate the support. So thanks so much for joining me today, Taurus. I will see you next time. And Sylvester says, thank goodness you're done. Now I can sit on your lap and get into all kinds of trouble. I'll see you later. Bye, Taurus.